Is oversharing with family always a good idea? As we age, there's a natural inclination to be open with our loved ones, believing that complete transparency strengthens relationships. But in reality, some things are best kept private, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. Maintaining certain boundaries can protect both your peace of mind and your relationships. In this video, we'll explore 5 things you may want to keep to yourself after 65. This isn't about shutting out family or being deceptive, but rather about preserving independence, avoiding unnecessary stress, and ensuring your personal choices remain respected. You might be surprised at how much more peaceful life can be when you choose to keep some matters private. Stay with us until the end. These insights could change how you navigate family dynamics in your later years, giving you greater freedom and ease. Let's dive in. 1. Financial matters and assets. Money is often one of the most sensitive topics as we get older. While it may seem like full transparency about your finances will prevent misunderstandings, it can sometimes create more problems than it solves. Revealing too much about your savings, investments, or financial plans can invite unsolicited advice, pressure, or even family conflicts. Different generations often have different perspectives on money, and well-meaning relatives might start offering opinions or even trying to influence your decisions. In some cases, distant family members suddenly take an interest in your affairs when they realize what you have. It's a common scenario. A parent shares details about their finances only to find their choices questioned at every turn. They might be told they should downsize, invest differently, or set aside more for future generations. While advice can be valuable when requested, constant input can feel intrusive and diminish your sense of control. Once you disclose your full financial situation, that knowledge can't be taken back. If your family perceives you as making unwise decisions, they may feel justified in stepping in, sometimes with good intentions, but not always in ways that respect your independence. This doesn't mean avoiding financial discussions altogether. It's essential to have a clear estate plan and communicate necessary details when appropriate. However, you don't need to disclose every detail, such as the exact amount you have, your spending habits, or recent investments. Those are personal decisions that belong to you alone. If maintaining some financial privacy allows you to live with more freedom and less outside pressure, that's not secrecy, it's wisdom. 2. Non-urgent health concerns. As we get older, it's natural to experience more health-related issues, and the instinct to share every ache or discomfort with family can be strong. After all, they care about us, and we want them to be aware of what's happening. However, there's a big difference between keeping loved ones informed about serious medical matters and overwhelming them with minor concerns. Constantly mentioning every small health issue can sometimes cause unnecessary worry, stress, or even prompt family members to take control of your decisions before it's truly needed. You might have noticed this before, casually mentioning joint pain or fatigue, only to find yourself in a discussion about whether you need to see a doctor, change your diet, or start a new supplement regimen. While family members typically mean well, their concern can quickly turn into pressure. Before you know it, they're researching treatments, suggesting lifestyle changes, or making comments like, "You really should take better care of yourself," as if you haven't been managing your health for years. There's also a psychological aspect to consider. If you frequently bring up minor health concerns, your family may begin to see you as more fragile than you actually feel. This can lead them to treat you differently, assuming you're less capable or more dependent than you really are. Once that perception is formed, it can be difficult to shift. Of course, it's important to communicate significant health issues, particularly those that impact daily life or require family involvement. But choosing to keep minor concerns to yourself isn't about hiding anything. It's about preserving your independence. You have the right to manage your health without unnecessary interventions or added stress. Sometimes, staying quiet about the little things is the best way to maintain control over your well-being. 3. Your honest opinions on family conflicts. Family relationships can be complex, and as we get older, we often find ourselves caught in the middle of conflicts we never intended to be part of. Siblings disputing an inheritance, adult children holding on to past grievances, or relatives who simply don't get along. These tensions exist in almost every family. With years of experience, you've likely seen the same patterns repeat: old wounds reopening, past disagreements resurfacing, and history repeating itself. It's tempting to step in, offer advice, or voice exactly how you feel about who's right and who's wrong. But more often than not, doing so only escalates the situation. You may have been there before, trying to mediate a disagreement only to have both sides turn against you. Or perhaps you shared a strong opinion, believing it would help, only to find that your words were misinterpreted and caused more harm than good. The reality is that family conflicts tend to resolve themselves, or they don't, regardless of your involvement. And even when the argument fades, people often remember what was said in the heat of the moment. If you take sides or express a firm opinion, you may find that long after the issue is forgotten, resentment toward you remains. This is especially true when it comes to opinions about younger family members. Voicing strong thoughts about a son-in-law, a daughter's parenting choices, or a relative's lifestyle may feel honest in the moment, but those words tend to stick. People rarely forget when they feel judged or criticized, even if your intentions were good. That's why one of the most valuable habits to develop after 65 is practicing selective silence. You don't have to pretend problems don't exist, nor do you have to agree with everything. But you also don't need to comment on every family situation. Instead of offering an opinion, sometimes the best response is simply, "I hope everything works out," or "I trust you'll make the right choice." This approach allows you to stay connected without getting entangled in drama that isn't yours to solve. Keeping certain thoughts to yourself can be the key to preserving harmony, not just within your family, but in your own life as well. 4. Regrets about the past. As we age, it's natural to reflect on our lives, the choices we made, opportunities we missed, and paths we didn't take. Regret is a part of life that everyone experiences to some degree. However, that doesn't mean it always needs to be shared, especially with family. You might feel compelled to talk about things you wish you had done differently, whether it's about your career, how you raised your children, or decisions that have shaped your journey. But what you see as honesty or self-reflection can sometimes be misunderstood by those closest to you. When parents or grandparents express regret, children can often take it personally. For example, if you mention, wishing you had spent more time with family and less time working, your children may interpret it as you saying, "I wasn't a good enough parent." If you express regret about not moving to a different city or chasing a different dream, they might see it as a subtle way of implying that your life with them wasn't fulfilling, even if that's not what you intended. These comments can linger and create unnecessary guilt or resentment. The same applies to regrets about past relationships. Even mentioning a lost love in passing can make your spouse or family members feel like they were a second choice. Even reflecting on friendships that faded away or missed opportunities can change how others view you. Instead of seeing you as the strong, resilient person they've always known, they might start to see you as someone who's stuck in the past. That's why, sometimes, keeping certain regrets to yourself is the wisest choice. It's okay to think about them, process them, and learn from them, but dwelling on them in front of family doesn't alter what has already happened. More often than not, it only adds a weight to those who care about you. While the past can't be rewritten, how you carry it forward is entirely within your control. 5. The full scope of your financial situation money is one of the most delicate topics in any family. It can bring people closer, but it can also lead to tension, misunderstandings, and even conflict. As you age, you might feel the urge to share more about your financial situation with your family, whether it's the amount you've saved, your plans for inheritance, or even any financial difficulties you're facing. While there are certainly times when discussing financial matters makes sense, being too transparent about your money can sometimes do more harm than good. One of the biggest risks of sharing too much about your finances is the way it can alter how people treat you. If your family learns you've accumulated a comfortable nest egg, some relatives may begin to view you differently, perhaps expecting financial help or subtly hinting at what they hope to inherit. Conversely, if you share that you're struggling financially, your loved ones may start to worry excessively about you or, in some cases, question your financial decisions. Either way, money tends to change the dynamics of relationships, and once that shift happens, it can be difficult to reverse. Another concern is independence. The more your family knows about your finances, the more likely they may feel entitled to offer unsolicited advice or even make decisions for you, assuming they're helping. In reality, this can undermine your ability to manage your own affairs and make choices independently. This doesn't mean you should hide everything. If you have a trusted financial advisor or an estate executor, it's wise to have your plans properly documented and shared with them. However, outside of these necessary disclosures, the best approach is often to share only what's absolutely needed and no more. Keeping certain financial details private helps you maintain control over your future while avoiding unnecessary stress, tension, and unwanted advice. Final thoughts. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on the 5 things we've discussed. Keeping certain matters private isn't about being secretive or distant. It's about protecting your peace, maintaining your dignity, and preserving your relationships. Not everything needs to be shared, and sometimes the wisest decision is knowing when to keep things to yourself. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever shared something with your family only to realize later that it shifted how they saw you? Or perhaps you've chosen not to say something only to later realize it was the right choice. Wisdom often comes with experience, and as we get older, we realize that some things are better kept private. The beauty of aging is gaining a clearer understanding of what truly matters: your peace of mind, your independence, and the quality of your relationships. Being thoughtful about what you share helps you maintain control over your life while nurturing meaningful connections. It's not about shutting people out. It's about preserving what makes those relationships strong and fulfilling. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it to your life. Your insights mean a lot to us, so don't hesitate to share them. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.